Is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is it Doctor? I'm sorry, I'm having trouble reading your last name. Ford. Yes, Ms. Ford. I don't think we got an answer to you as to whether there have been any professors terminated at your school for anti-Semitic words or conduct.
So the answer was that I'm not able to speak about personnel matters, but what I can say to you is we investigate every complaint and concern thoroughly and thoughtfully.
Sure, I'm not asking you to give us names
action.
or anything, but can you just tell us in general, has anyone been terminated?
In general, I can say to you that I can't speak about personnel matters, but I can tell you that we do follow up and we take action.
I'm pretty sure your colleague, Mr. Banks, gave us an answer, so you can.
And I respect and appreciate that, but I'm not going to be able to do that. I can let you know that, again, when any issue comes up, we investigate it, and pending the outcome of that investigation, we do take action. And those actions range.
Thank you. You gave us a statement in your testimony where you said that any suggestion or assertion that anti-Semitism is pervasive in BUSD, that is at your district, is false. However, the Brandeis Center and the Anti-Defamation League have, as we've mentioned, filed a complaint. And for the sake of brevity, I'll read from their release, summarizing what's in it. It says, incidents include students repeatedly hearing anti-Semitic comments in classrooms and hallways, such as kill the Jews, non-Jewish students asking Jewish students what their number is, referring to numbers tattooed on Jews during the Holocaust, and Jewish students being derided for their physical appearance and demonized as evil. Students have also had to endure anti-Semitic teacher rants in class activities, teacher-promoted walkouts and praise Hamas, and even a second-grade teacher leading a classroom activity where children were writing "Stop bombing babies" on sticky notes to display in the building. Jewish students report being worried about mob violence, including being jumped at school. Many have said they removed their Stars of David and no longer wear Jewish camp t-shirts, and that they are learning to keep their heads down, hide their Judaism, and move through their school days in fear. Some students have left the district due to pervasive bullying. Parents have repeatedly reported anti-Semitic incidents to the administration, but BUSD has done nothing to address, much less curtail, the hostile environment. The eruption of anti-Semitism in Berkeley's elementary and high schools is like nothing I've ever seen before, said Kenneth Marcus, chairman of the Brandeis Center and former U.S. Assistant Secretary of Education. And yet you testified today, any suggestion or assertion that anti-Semitism is pervasive in BUSD is false. So my question is, if you're not willing to acknowledge the problem, why can we be confident that it's being adequately addressed?
You can be confident that I am there in my schools every day, in the schools, in the classrooms with the babies, and I'm very clear that anti-Semitism, there have been incidents of anti-Semitism in Berkeley Unified School District. And every single time that we are aware of such an instance, we take action and we follow up and we take appropriate action at that.
Okay. Can I ask you about the Israel-Palestine curriculum that's been introduced in some classes in the wake of October 7th? Did you approve this curriculum?
So we do have a controversial policy that says if something is instigated or incited by our students, which was the case with this, that our teachers can respond. So yes, in response to both student interest and parent interest to discuss this in our classrooms, we did have a group of teachers who did try to create lessons to respond to the moment and engage our students in conversations.
So you approved it? You approved the curriculum?
Our teachers did create it, yes.
And so one of the slides in this curriculum said, for some Palestinians, from the river to the sea is a call for freedom and peace. It then cited as support a quote from Congresswoman Tlaib, who was censured by this body in a bipartisan vote. Do you think that's an appropriate thing to have on a slide for students?
What was on the slide again? Say it again, please.
It said, for some Palestinians, from the river to the sea is a call for freedom and peace. Do you think that's appropriate?
So we definitely believe that it's important to expose our students to a diversity of ideas and perspectives. And if it was presented as a perspective, I do think it's appropriate. You
do? So you think, I think, is it any wonder, and you said earlier you thought this was anti-Semitic, and you put this on a slide in the classroom and then students go around the halls saying it. I don't think there's anything surprising about that. But I wanted to also ask you about the ethnic studies curriculum you have, because I think you contract with a group called the Liberated Ethnic Studies Consortium, is that right?
Yes.
So this consortium, as I understand it, grew out of the initial working group to form California's model ethnic studies curriculum, and the original version of that was universally condemned as anti-Semitic. 14 members of the legislature, all Democrats, said it is difficult to fathom why the state of California would want to actively promote a narrative about Jews that echoes the propaganda of the Nazi regime. Even Gavin Newsom said the curriculum was offensive in so many ways it would never see the light of day. So it was revised, but this Liberated Ethnic Studies Consortium offers the original version of it. They split off from the group and said, we're going to stick with the original anti-Semitic version, and that's the version that you went out and decided to have in your classrooms. Is that right?
That is actually incorrect, Congressman. I thank you for the opportunity to clarify.
Okay, please.
So Berkeley Unified School District has not purchased any curriculum from Liberated Ethnic Studies Consortium. In fact, our ethnic studies curriculum is created in-house, if you will. We pride ourselves on having.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I misheard you.
community-responsive-
Did you say, I thought you said you contracted with the Liberated Ethnic Studies.
So we have Liberated Ethnic Studies as a thought partner. Our teachers and our staff and our
partner.
community members actually create our curriculum. So we're not purchasing or buying any curriculum from Liberated Ethnic Studies.
I don't understand what the difference between a thought partner and working with them on
Oh, for
curriculum
sure, I
is.
can explain to you. So Liberated Ethnic Studies is one of two experts in the field of ethnic studies that Berkeley Unified School District evaluated to partner with. Our curriculum, our units that are being created, the ethnic studies units, are created by our educators in partnership with community
Okay.
members, et cetera.
Thank you
they are
very much.
a
My
resource
time has
that we
expired,
use.
but I'll just say, Mr. Chair, that you specifically chose to work with a group whose work product was rejected by political leaders throughout California as anti-Semitic, and so I don't think it's any wonder then that you see anti-Semitism suddenly become rampant.
The
in
gentleman's
halls of the
time
school.
is
Thank you, Mr.
expired.
Chair.